Hello everybody, welcome to my channel, Jennifer Marie VO, where I teach you different ways that you can make money online working from home. So this will be the first video where you have ever seen me actually on camera. When I first started this channel, I never thought it would grow to the success that it has now. And so all of my videos have basically been me behind the scenes showing you how to navigate different platforms, how to use different software tools, all in an effort to make money online working from home. But I've decided that in order to connect with my audience better and with my subscribers, that it's good once in a while to show up and say hello and introduce myself to you. So you know, no, I am not Alexa, I am not Siri, this is my real voice. So in today's tutorial, I'm going to go over all of the different transcription platforms. If you're one of my subscribers, you know that a lot of my different tutorials focus on transcription platforms, how to make money online by typing what you hear as an English transcriptionist. But I get a lot of questions about what is the best transcription platform, what is the job availability like, what is the pay rate, what equipment do I need. So I wanted to create a complete comprehensive guide on how to become a transcriptionist, what platforms actually have the most available work, what you can really expect to get paid, and then show you exactly what it looks like once you get accepted, how many jobs are really available right now in 2020, almost in 2021, and give you my full recommendation on which platforms I would recommend you apply to, and then some general tips on how you can pass these exams, what equipment you need to get started, and a realistic picture of what you can actually earn in a month if you are a skilled transcriptionist. And then I'm going to break down platform by platform, the pay rate of each one, where they accept applicants from, how difficult the test is, how many jobs are available once you get accepted. So let's jump right on, and I will see you at the end of this video as well to wrap it all up. Okay, so what are the requirements to become a transcriptionist? You should have a high level of English, and this is if you want to become an English transcriptionist. If you're going to become a Spanish or Italian or German transcriptionist, of course you just have to be fluent and have a high level in the language you are hoping to transcribe in. You also have to have excellent skills in English writing, grammar, and punctuation. And you need to have a decent typing speed. So you should be able to type at least 60 words per minute. If you don't know what your typing speed is, I will link you in the description below to my video on how to type faster. And I also have different links to typing speed tests that you can do. Now, really, you don't have to have a great typing speed to become a transcriptionist, but the faster you are at typing, the more money you will make because you will be able to transcribe these files faster. For most of these platforms, there is no minimum typing speed. You just need to be able to transcribe the file within the allotted time that they give you. You also have to have access to a laptop or personal computer and the internet. A lot of people ask if they can do transcription jobs on their mobile phone or on a tablet, but I would say all of these you need to have a laptop or a personal computer of some kind because the software is just not built for tablets or for mobile phones that they want you to use when you are transcribing. Okay, so the next question is, what equipment do I need? So again, you need to have a laptop or a PC. This can be Windows or Mac in general. And you have to have good quality headphones. I mean, you don't have to have $100 Sony headphones. I recommend you have over-the-ear headphones and ones that have a cord, an aux cord that you can plug into. You can use Bluetooth, of course, that's no problem. But I find that sometimes with Bluetooth headphones, it might cut out a little bit here and there. Whereas if you have just your standard over-the-ear headphones that have an aux cable that plugs in directly to your laptop or your computer, that way you don't have to worry about charging them and you get a constant stream of audio without any, cutting in and out. The next piece of equipment you may want to use is an ergonomic keyboard, and these keyboards are especially designed to help reduce strain by keeping your hands, wrists, and arms at a more comfortable and natural position than you would get with a standard keyboard. Of course, this is optional. I wouldn't recommend you buy this without having a job, but let's say you get a job transcribing for a platform like Rev or TranscribeMe, and you want to be able to transcribe faster, or you find that your arms or your wrists are starting to lock or seize up, then an ergonomic keyboard will make it more comfortable for you as you're typing. You might also want to get a foot pedal, and again, this is also optional. Transcription foot pedals make transcribing much faster because you can simply tap the pedals with your feet to fast forward or rewind the audio as you are transcribing. So a foot pedal is sort of like when you're driving a car, you have two different pedals that you can tap with your foot, either to fast forward or rewind the audio. And this makes it so much faster because you don't have to move your hands from the positions of the letters on your keyboard. You just have to press rewind or fast forward with your foot, and then you can keep transcribing. The recommended transcription foot pedal that also can work with Rev is the Infinity foot pedal, and I will link you to that in the description below. Again, this is also optional. If you're just starting out, you just need a laptop or PC and headphones. Again, check the links in the description below for specific equipment that is recommended in the transcription industry for headphones, keyboards, and foot pedals. The next question I get a lot, and there are a lot of different tutorials on my YouTube channel about this, is what transcription tools can I use? So this will widely depend on what transcription platform you are using or if you are doing freelance transcription. Because, for example, if you are transcribing for different clients that you get on Fiverr or Upwork or People Per Hour or any of these popular freelancing platforms, then you usually have more liberty to use different transcription tools. But here are some of the ones that I like to use or I have used in the past. Audacity. I love Audacity. It is a free program where you can eliminate background noise and improve audio quality. You can also slow down audio so you can understand it more clearly. I have a tutorial on how to use Audacity and how to do all of these things, which again, I will link to in the description below. I also recommend you use Grammarly. Grammarly is a free tool, or you can purchase the premium version, but I wouldn't recommend this if you're just starting out because it is quite expensive. But you can use the free version to help check for spelling, grammatical, and punctuation errors in your transcript. Again, I have a tutorial on how to use this, and you can find that in the description below. Also, you could use GoTranscript, which is a free web app to make transcribing files easier with an integrated player. Google Docs, and what you can use with this is they have a built-in speech-to-text software so that you can dictate the transcription into the document, and then Google Docs will transcribe it for you automatically. So this might save you time if you don't feel like typing everything out, or say you broke one arm, or your hands are tired from typing all day. This is an alternative. You can listen to the audio and then repeat what it's saying so that Google Docs will transcribe everything that you are saying into the document. Finally, you can use Otter.ai. This has a free trial, but then it is paid. But it is the best software I have found for automatic audio to text conversion. And this again will speed up the transcription process because you can just put the MP3 or audio or video file into Otter and it will automatically transcribe it for you. And then of course you go through it and check for any punctuation errors or spelling errors and clean it up before you would submit it to your client. I have tutorials on how to use each and every one of these tools in my playlist on Transcription Tools, and again, I will link that in the description below. The next question I get a lot is how can I improve my English level? If your English level isn't excellent, it will be hard for you to become an English transcriptionist. That is not to say that you cannot practice and get better, because if you improve your punctuation skills and your writing skills, then you definitely have the option to become an English transcriptionist. I have an entire series on English writing essentials on my YouTube channel, Sparkle English, and you can find the links to these videos in the description below. Again, I've got videos on comma rules, apostrophe rules, quotation marks rules, capitalization, how to use colons, semicolons, periods, and exclamation marks. So make sure to check those out as well. Okay, here is another really important question, and so many people on YouTube lie about this, and it really makes me frustrated. How much money can you make as a transcriptionist? Be very careful when you're watching different videos on YouTube, and these YouTubers say you can make $20 an hour transcribing. In general, this is absolutely 100% false. Unless you are a freelance transcriptionist and you have private clients that you transcribe for, or you are transcribing for a very high professional level company that offers excellent pay rates, which I don't really know of any that offer this sort of pay rate, you are very unlikely to make $20 per hour. What most YouTubers do not tell you is that you can make between $10 and $22 or maybe $25 per audio hour. Now, they don't specify this in most of the thumbnails when you're clicking on their videos. They say make $10 or make $20 per hour. This is per audio hour, and there is a huge difference in audio hour and in a normal hour. So when you think make $20 in an hour, you think if I'm sitting here transcribing for 1 hour, I will make $20. But this means you will make up to $20 per transcribed audio hour. And in general, it takes 3 to 4 hours to transcribe 1 hour of audio. So that means you can expect to earn between $10 and $22 every 3 to 4 hours, or depending on how long it takes you to transcribe 1 hour. If you are a really fast typer and it's a really easy file, you might be able to transcribe it in 2.5 hours or maybe even 2 hours. But that's if the file is really easy and very clear. So if we do the math, that can equal around $3 to $7 an hour, or even slightly more or less depending on your typing speed and the difficulty of the audio or the video file. So transcription is not big money. Again, it depends on how difficult the file is. Some people might be making $10 an hour if they are really fast typers and they have really easy files that they're transcribing. But anyone who's telling you you're going to make $25 an hour consistently transcribing, they're not telling you the truth, okay? Unless you have some private clients who are paying you that much money, this is a lower end paid job, especially for all of these different beginner transcription platforms. Okay, so now the moment you've been waiting for. Let's break down each of these transcription platforms. So these are all of the most common typical ones that you see, or the ones that I have had some sort of experience with. So I'm just going to go through them all one by one and talk about the pay rate and how easy the test is and so forth. So the first one is QA World. QA World has a very easy test. You just have to listen to a file, transcribe it. It could take you like 5 minutes, depending on your English level to get accepted. The pay rate is very low. Look how low it is. It is between 5 cents and 15 cents per audio minute to start. So this is a very low pay rate. Like I said, it takes you 3 to 4 times as long as a file is to transcribe it. So that means you'll be making between 5 and 15 cents in 4 minutes, which is a lot of work for a very low pay rate. And it usually will take people even longer than that with the calls on QA World, because basically what you do is you're transcribing a conversation between call centers, so between a customer and a representative, and sometimes they're quite difficult to hear. But this is the easiest job to get accepted into of all of the different transcription platforms. So even just applying for the test just to practice some type of transcription test is definitely worthwhile. And if you can get a little bit of work to get started, I would recommend this. The job availability, unfortunately, is quite low. I'm going to show you when we jump on into QA World and see exactly what I mean, but you have to be online in the morning in the Philippines times, because usually the job calls are released between, could be 7 in the morning and maybe 1 or 2 p.m. And that's when you get calls that are released. And there's a lot of people just sitting and waiting for the calls to be released to click start work, start a job. So if all of a sudden I see 30 calls pop up, you have to be super fast at accepting a call, because they will go really fast. I have a little trick for that, which I will talk about a little bit later on. The payment method is PayPal. This is a worldwide job, so as long as you have a PayPal account, you can work for this company. Have I passed this test? Yes, I have, and I have a couple videos on that as well. So now we're going to jump into QA World to show you what it looks like right now and to see what kind of jobs are available. Okay, so here we are in QA World, and this is the dreaded thing that you will see. There are no calls at this time. Please check back later. I have a tutorial on how to use an auto refresh plugin and set it up so you can get a sound notification. This does automatically refresh, but you have to be sitting here and watching it in order to click start work on one of these calls. And it's tiring because people don't have time to just sit around all day waiting for a call to pop up. And usually when the calls are released, it'll be like 20 all at once, and they go so fast. And that's because QA World is the easiest transcription platform to get accepted into. So there are a lot of people waiting for work. You can see here they have top transcribers and they get access to more files. So this guy, for example, these people between 400 and over 900 minutes in the past week. So they have been transcribing a lot, but I think they also get access to the files before other people do. I was looking at this website a little bit earlier this week to see when you get calls that pop up, and usually you get it in the Philippines in the morning. So between, 7 in the morning and 2 p.m. in the Philippine time, but mainly in the morning that I was seeing calls popping up. But it is possible to get work. You just have to be awake and by your computer during the Philippine time in the morning, because that's when calls are being released. Okay, so the second website we're going to talk about is Scribby. And the test difficulty is average. I wouldn't say it's super difficult, but I would say it's, you have to have a pretty decent level of English in order to pass. It is quite extensive. You get to pick one of the test files and then you transcribe it, and then they will get back to you to say whether or not you passed. The pay rate is between 16 cents and 17 cents per audio minute. They have the pay rate of $10 per audio hour. And again, it can take you 3 to 4 hours to transcribe one audio hour. The job availability is quite high. Every time I've been on Scribby, there's always jobs available. Sometimes there's, 5, 6, 7, 8 files. It's not like there's hundreds of files, but there's always something to do on Scribby from what I have seen. The payment method is PayPal, and yes, it is available to worldwide applicants as long as you have a PayPal account. Have I passed the test? Yes, I have. So now let's switch over to Scribby and see what it looks like right now as of December 2020 and job availability. Okay, so now we're going to have a browse in Scribby. As you can see here, they have 19 files available for transcription. I almost always see files available for Scribby. Sometimes it's 2 or 3 or 4, and then an hour later there's another 20 or there's another 30. So there's always work to do with Scribby. Here you can see that the pay rate is $10 per audio hour. So the pay rate is quite low. I know on Scribby they say you can make up to $20 per audio hour, but I have never seen a file paid more than $10 per audio hour. You can scroll down here. All of these are $10 per audio hour. You can see the length of the file. So this one is 6 minutes and 50 cents, and you will get paid $1. Now again, it takes you 3 to 4 times the length of the file to transcribe it. So if this is a 7-minute file, this could take you between 20 minutes and a half an hour to transcribe. And honestly, it might even take longer than that. It really depends on how difficult the file is. The benefit of Scribby is that there's almost always work. Okay, so the next one I'm going to talk about is Rev Captioning and Rev Transcription. So these are 2 different platforms within the same company. Rev Captioning, you basically have to write out closed captions or subtitles for different YouTube videos within their built-in dashboard and then sync those to the videos later on. It is, I think, easier to get into Rev Captioning than it is into Rev Transcription, but neither are easy. It is very difficult. I had to try a couple times to get accepted into Rev Transcription, and then Rev Captioning, I think I got accepted my second try. So it's not the easiest thing to get accepted into, especially because so many people write the answers all over the internet. So even if you do have an excellent level of English and you would be a great transcriptionist or captioner, you might fail the test for something small or because they think you're copying and pasting. It's very unfortunate. The pay rate is higher than QA World and Scribby. You can make between 40 cents and $1 per audio minute. That is usually even higher than 40 cents, and it can even be higher than $1 if it's a rush job or a really difficult file. The job availability, in my experience, it's high for Rev Captioning. There's always jobs available, and I'm going to put average for Rev Transcription based on what I saw in the past. It could be high. I don't have access anymore to my Rev Transcription account because it was so long I didn't use it, but Rev Captioning I do. The payment method is PayPal for both of these, and Rev used to be a worldwide company, and now it only is accepting applicants from these countries right here. Okay, so Australia, Canada, Germany, Ireland, New Zealand, South Africa, the US, and the UK. Some people ask me, can you use a VPN? I don't know. I'm not going to say do it or don't do it. I don't know what the policy is. It's probably not to do it. But let's say, for example, you were from, like me, I'm from Canada, but I live in Spain and I have an account. So just make sure your English level is great before you apply. Have I passed the test? Yes, I have passed for both. And I'm going to jump into Rev right now and show you what it looks like in Rev Captioning and what the job availability is like. So let's take a look at Rev right now. Right now I'm in the Rev Captioning program right now that I was accepted into, that I have an account with. And you can see there are 247 jobs available. And this is like incredible considering we're in the middle of a pandemic right now. Now, these jobs do go pretty quickly, but obviously if you're online working right now, you can be working for quite a few hours on different jobs. We can go here, we can sort it by the pay minimum, and you can see, well, these ones here are pro, so these are rush jobs. So some of them, the pay is $1.20 per minute. And so for this 3-minute file, you get paid $3.68, which is pretty good. The lowest is 54 cents. So you can see here, for example, you can organize by pay total. You have some different jobs. This job is paid, $29 for this 37-minute file. And the pay is 78 cents per minute. So we're seeing some other ones here. This is an hour, 45-minute file. This one is $63. You can see here for this one, they allow you 2 days and 7 hours to do the file because you can see, how long it is. It is a really long file. So you can see with Rev right now, there are so many different jobs available and with really good, total rates. Okay, the next one I want to talk to you about is TranscribeMe. Now, TranscribeMe, I have a bunch of different tutorials on how to, tips on passing the exam, things you need to know, the punctuation guide, because the test is very difficult. I passed the test on my first try. I've actually passed the test twice because if you don't use your account for in under a certain amount of months, you lose your account. So I had to pass it twice, but it is difficult. You have to have an excellent level of English and follow the style guidelines very carefully. The pay rate is between 25 cents and 36 cents per audio minute. It is actually easier than Rev, in my opinion, because the files are just clearer to understand. The job availability is low. I wouldn't say it's extremely low, but there is a lot of waiting around until you get assigned a job. The payment method is PayPal, and it is worldwide, so you can apply if you are from anywhere. I'm going to go over and show you a little bit about TranscribeMe now. Okay, so right now I am showing you TranscribeMe. Now, I have passed the TranscribeMe exam 2 different times. You can see here the English entrance exam. I took it on February 6th, 2020. It says passed. Click on that. You can see I passed the first try for both the sample sentences question, style guide questions, first, second, and third audio. So once you get accepted, you can go to workhub.transcribeme.com, and here is where work will pop up. Now, unfortunately, if you do not do enough work, and as you can see here, I didn't submit anything after I got tested. I've done it in the past. The first time I passed TranscribeMe, and then I got accepted again to do my tutorial the second time, but I didn't actually submit any work. So once that happens and you don't submit any work for a certain period of time, they sort of like deactivate your account without really telling you. So as you can see here, I have an account. Go to my exams. It says I've passed, but I can't actually do any jobs, which is really unfortunate. Basically, what I would have to do to start doing work again would be to get another email and redo the entire test. But they don't actually say anywhere why I'm not being able to get work. I've done this before and emailed them and asked them what the problem was, and they said if a certain amount of time passes, you will lose access to your account. So if you do get accepted into TranscribeMe, I recommend trying to do a couple files, a month, just to keep your account active. So basically what happens when you get accepted, you can see in my tutorials on TranscribeMe, you will have work that will automatically be assigned to you. So you're basically opened in a page like this, and it's basically saying waiting for work. And unlike QA World and Rev, where you have to click start work, they will just assign you a file automatically that you can start transcribing. And then you'll be sort of like in this queue, you'll do one file and you submit it, and then you'll automatically get another file. So there is work available. I don't think there's as much work as is available in Rev or Scribby, but the pay is better than Scribby and it's comparable to Rev. Usually the files are much easier to transcribe as well because they're quite small and bite-sized. So I do think once you get accepted into TranscribeMe, the work is easier than it is in Rev or Scribby or any of the other platforms, but there isn't as much work as there is with Rev or Scribby. The next two platforms I want to talk to you about are Crowdsurf work and casting words. As you can see, I was accepted into both of these platforms. Crowdsurf work, the test difficulty is average. It wasn't that difficult. The pay is between 3 cents and 20 cents per minute, so it's not that high. Job availability, it's average. I've seen quite a few hits, they call them, which are basically just little tasks. Then you get paid a certain amount of money to do the task. The payment method varies. You could get paid through PayPal, through a bank transfer, or this WM Visa card, since they pay you either through mTurk or WorkMarket. And this is worldwide. Now, the problem with Crowdsurf work, when I applied way back, and you can see in my tutorials on this, and got accepted, I was given the account information within the same week and was able to start doing work and had no issues. Now, they have two different options. You can apply as either from the USA or Canada or as international. And what I'm finding is with both of these people right now, once people are passing the test, they're not being given their login credentials. So I think that right now, since the whole pandemic and people losing their jobs, they've had so many different applicants, so many people being accepted, that even if you do the test and pass, you'll be waiting and waiting weeks or months to get your login credentials. So right now, as of, the end of 2020, almost 2021, I don't recommend you apply to Crowdsurf work right now until you see that, or until you can read comments on YouTube videos or Trustpilot that people are actually getting their login credentials, because people are saying the support isn't answering as well. But if you do have an account with them, it's pretty consistent work and, easy enough to do. The other one I want to talk to you about is casting words. Again, the test difficulty is average. It's not that hard to pass. The pay rate can really range between 8 cents and $1 per audio minute, but the job availability is very low, and this is really disappointing. The pay is via PayPal. So what happens, and I'm just going to show you right now what happens with casting words right now. You can see right here, I have a balance of 56 cents that I made. If I click request transfer, you can only do that once you make $1. So you'd think it'd be pretty fast for me to make $1, but what happens is I go to available jobs at the top, and then they have a total of 71 available jobs, but none of them are popping up for me to do. So if I click on all jobs, you can see these are all the different jobs that they have available. But when I click on one of them, it says your transcriber rank isn't high enough for this job. And the problem is that I'm not able to increase my transcriber rank without doing transcription jobs. So they almost never have jobs that are available for brand new transcribers. The day I applied, there were quite a few available. And since then, I've seen very, very few. So unless they get a huge order of different transcripts that need to be transcribed, they're giving all of their new transcription jobs to their experienced transcribers, but you're not able to get that opportunity as a new transcriber. Okay, and the last 4 I want to talk to you about are GoTranscript, Verbit.ai, Way with Words, and Daily Transcription. So I have only applied to 2 of 4 of these, and I was not accepted, unfortunately, to Verbit.ai or Way with Words. I did not think that the tests were difficult, but obviously they are difficult because they didn't accept me. So I was an English language teacher for 7 years. I am a native English speaker. I think I have an excellent level of English, grammar, punctuation, everything, and I wasn't accepted into these. So I don't exactly know why, because they didn't tell me. Verbit.ai I thought was very easy, so I have no idea. I was denied from that almost instantly, so I wonder if they just had an automatic dismissal of applications, because other people said that they got a message saying their application would be reviewed and it would take a few days, and mine was literally within seconds. So let's go break them down one by one. GoTranscript. Test difficulty is average. I did half of the test. The first part was like a grammar test, multiple choice, and I passed that with no problems. But then what happened is they gave me a file to transcribe, and it was so ridiculous. I have a video on GoTranscript on the application process. It was so ridiculous, so complicated. I had no idea what they were saying. Apparently, they've changed the test and now it's not so difficult, so you can feel free to try it out. I don't know if I'm going to or not, because I thought it was just so ridiculous. I didn't want to try again. But apparently it's not so bad now. This is a very good option for people who do not have a PayPal account, like people in Pakistan, because they also pay with Payoneer. I'm not sure what the job availability is like because I don't have access to the systems like I do with all of the other platforms. The pay is up to 60 cents per audio minute. It is worldwide. And no, I haven't passed the test. I haven't failed. I've only passed the first part. I didn't bother with the second part. The next one, Verbit.ai, like I said, I did the test. I thought I did a great job. I did not pass. I have no idea why. Pay rate between 24 cents and 30 cents per audio minute. Not sure about job availability. I've seen some people saying they're still doing jobs right now in 2020, so I'm imagining it's a good platform to use if you can get accepted. The payment is via PayPal. It is worldwide, and no, I have not passed. The next one is Way with Words. This is a UK company, and it is an excellent company. The test difficulty is very difficult. I have a tutorial on my channel showing you the application process. I passed the first few parts of it, and then the last part I did not pass. Again, I have no idea why. I think I did a great job. If you can get in with Way with Words, you're lucky because they pay very well, between 45 cents and $1.73 per audio minute. Of all the transcription platforms, this one pays the best. So if you have an excellent level of English, you think your English level is better than mine, or you just really study their style guide so you don't miss anything, then why not? You can give it a try, but definitely make sure you do some practice beforehand. I'm not sure about the job availability. The payment method is through PayPal, and they accept people from these countries right here. South Africa, the UK, European countries, the US, Canada, Australia, Malaysia, Singapore, and Hong Kong. No, I have not passed, unfortunately. The last one is Daily Transcription. I've never tried this before, but this one I see a lot of people have tried. The pay rate is between 75 cents and 85 cents per audio minute. You get paid via check, so this isn't one that you can try to do by using a VPN because you have to have a US or Canadian bank account to accept the check. And this is just for people from the US and Canada, and I've not applied for this, so I haven't passed or failed. Okay, so that was a mouthful. This is a very long video, but I really wanted to go through all of these different companies with you, especially because, I don't think any other YouTuber who talks about making money online has gone through the process like I have and actually passed 7 different transcription platforms just to show you guys how it works and what it's like once you get inside. It's easy enough to say you can apply here, but then once you get a job and there's no work, what's the point? Okay. So right now, my recommendations for you in 2021 is to apply to QA World if you're a super beginner and just want to practice. apply to Scribby as well if you're a beginner, because they do have jobs available and it's easier to get into Scribby than it is in Rev or TranscribeMe. And then I definitely recommend you apply to Rev Captioning or Rev Transcription, or both. You can apply to both. Just go through the style guide and keep trying. I mean, it's difficult, but if you keep trying, you'll get more practice at the exams as well. And you can try, I believe, every 45 days if you fail the first time. You can also try TranscribeMe. It's a great practice to see what your transcription skills are like. Even if you don't get accepted, it's still practice for the tests. But those would be the 5 that I would currently recommend. I really like Crowdsurf work. I think it's great. But unfortunately, right now it doesn't seem like they're accepting new applicants because they probably already have too many. And Casting Words, once you get an account, you can't really do anything because there's no jobs available to new transcribers. The rest of them, you can go ahead and try out. I think GoTranscript would be better to apply if you're a beginner than Verbit or Way with Words or Daily Transcription, which you should have a very high level of English and excellent transcription skills. Okay guys, so that was the end of this tutorial. I hope you learned something and it gave you a little bit of insight on what it means to be a transcriptionist, how much money you can make, and all the tools that you need to get started. If you liked this video, please click like, it really helps me out, and make sure to check out my Sparkle English channel where I will teach you how to improve your level of English, both your written English, your grammar, your punctuation skills, your writing skills, and also your speaking skills. Now that I have introduced myself on camera, I will be presenting myself on camera in those videos as well, because I think it helps to learn a language. It helps to see the person pronouncing all the words with their mouth. So thank you very much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in my next tutorial.